Hi, class. Today we are going to do something a little bit different. Instead of doing a new lesson for you, I'm going to go through and introduce the weathering project that I'm going to give out today. And this project is going to be due on May 3rd. So I'm going to go through and introduce it, and then I recommend working on it sooner rather than later. Because starting next week, we will continue working on new material. So there'll be lessons coming out on Monday. Just for today, I thought I'd do this instead of a lesson. So I want to give you some options on how this project will work for you. I know some of you are in different situations and will have a different amount of time on your hands. So option one is going to be a straight research paper. So I've given you three topics here. So you can explore the effects weathering has on animals. You can explore the effects weathering has on plants. The third option is you can look at how humans have changed weathering either for the good or for the bad. It depends on what take you want to look at. So option C, or topic C, will lead into climate change, which is what we're going to be starting on Monday. But well, I guess A and B will also do that. So this will kind of lead a little bit into Monday's lesson or Monday's topic, where climate change. So it's your choice what three of those topics you want. If there's another topic around weathering that you really want to do a research paper on, feel free to email me and we can discuss if that would be a possibility. So going over what the research paper will look like, I want you to have at least three sources. So sources can be articles, research papers, YouTube videos. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have some marks available for your sources. So if you choose good sources, which would be like science-based, a reliable author, and they have evidence to support the facts, you're going to get marks for that. If you have bad sources, like BuzzFeed type articles, like tabloid type articles, things that aren't science-based and have no evidence, you will lose marks for not having strong sources. So make sure the sources you're choosing are scientific based. So you're going to find at least three sources on your topic, and you're going to write a report about your findings. The report needs to have the following. So I want you to introduce weathering in probably looking at like 4 to 5 sentences. Really give it a good introduction on what weathering is, kind of summarize the lesson we had on weathering. Then I want you to summarize source 1, summarize source 2, summarize source 3, and then write your conclusion about what these three sources tell you about your topic. Actually, one thing here I should have had that I completely forgot to add, my mistake, is when you introduce weathering, you also want to introduce, which I wonder if I can just do text, let's see. So you want to introduce your topic. One thing I forgot to add there. So start by saying what topic you chose, what you're going to be looking at, then introduce weathering. Summarize your three sources, write a conclusion about what the three sources are saying. You can put your own ideas in there as well. And then add links to your resources so I can see what resources you chose. Again, I went over I'll give marks based on the strength of the resources. And I want this paper to be at least 1 page, size 12 font. So you can separate it up into paragraphs. It doesn't have to be just like one massive text. And if you're finding that this is a big project for you, because you're not used to writing so much, although I think it's pretty reasonable, please let me know. Okay, so looking at option number 2, if I can just get rid of this, I don't know why it carries over the page. Okay, option number 2, weathering around you. So in this option, what I had in mind is either looking in your house or outside on a walk if it's safe for you to go outside and you have available. Look for different types of weathering that's happening around you. Find at least 3 different types of weathering and take a photo of it. So safety is really important here. So I don't want you to put yourself in a position that makes you unsafe. So if it's not safe to go outside, or it's increases your risk of exposure to COVID-19. Please don't go outside. Please either choose option 1 or see if you can find weathering in your house. So if you can go outside or in your house, find 3 different types of weathering, take a photo of it, and then you're going to, in like a Google Doc, add your 3 photos, and with each photo, I want you to give me a little description of the weathering, and then I have a couple of questions I want you to answer. So how I want it to look is you have your picture. Under that, you're going to explain the location of this picture, what the object in the picture, what the object that's getting weathered is, the type of weathering, and the subtype of weathering that's happening. So an example would be, this is physical weathering, and it's the freeze-thaw physical weathering. Then I want you to explain the effects that weathering is having on that object. So if we see a rock that's been cracked in half because it's been cold and the water inside the rock froze and cracked in half, well, I would say, well, we got physical freeze-thaw weathering that is causing the rock to break apart from water seeping into it. And then I want you to predict what this object will look like in about 100 years, give or take a little bit. So that could be, well, in about 100 years, this rock's going to continue to break apart because it's near water, or it's constantly exposed to water, and it's constantly going to get frozen. And you can also talk about other types of weathering in that as well. If you have an object that has multiple types of weathering that is obvious to the object, you can talk about more than one type of weathering. So I would like you to do this for each of the 3 photos. If you wanted to include another photo, you definitely can, if you find some interesting weathering around you. So both of these options, you can choose either one you like. It's up to you. If you have any questions about it, please let me know, or concerns. I'm happy to work with you to find a way to make this work, if you're in a position where this isn't really feasible for you. And I'd like both the options to be due May 3rd. So that gives you about 2 weeks to complete the work. Hope you all have a great Friday and a great weekend. On Monday, I'll post a new lesson introducing the new topic, climate change. And then Tuesday, we're going to have a video call where we can go over this project as well as the new material.